Hello, welcome back to Bread. Bible reading every day at Just Direction. We're on day 70. Day 70. Give yourselves a hand. Be so proud of yourselves for continuing that every single day that you have decided that, no, I'm going to read my Bible today. I am going to defeat the enemy. I am going to arm myself. I am going to put on the full armor of God. I'm going to start with my sword. I'm going to carry, this is the weapon. The weapons of this world will not be that are formed against us will not be successful whenever we are in the Word. And this is our weapon. This is our armor. This is our sword that we carry with us. So be so proud of yourself. 70 days now that we've been doing this. I'm really jazzed about it. Humbled. Very humbled. Thank you for your words of encouragement that many of you have shared with me. Thank you for continuing on this journey with me. Thank you for sharing this with your friends. Thank you for inviting your friends. And thank you for being a part of this. Reading the Bible together is amazing. Reading the Bible every single day is amazing. But when you get to do it together, it's even more amazing and such a blessing. So today we're going to start continuing in Joshua. We'll finish with Joshua tomorrow, but today we're going to start in Joshua 18. We're going to read through chapters 21. Through chapter 21. But I want you to, as we're talking about the land, the allotments that are given, and going through all these details of it that you may think is unnecessary, but it's very necessary, because you got to remember these are the promises that God gave them. And these are the promises, and not one promise is going to be left unfulfilled. In fact, that's how we're going to end today, knowing that every single promise that God gave to the children of Israel was met, was honored, was fulfilled. And I just love that. So as we go through this allotment of land and we find out who has what, and that Joshua is doing the commands that Moses gave him, that Moses passed on, that the Lord gave him. And Joshua is continuing on that. So let's begin, chapter 18. The allotments of the remaining land. Now that the land was under Israelite control, the entire community of Israel gathered at Shiloh and set up the tabernacle. But there remained 7 tribes who had not yet been allotted their grants of land. Then Joshua asked them, "How long are you going to wait before taking possession of the remaining land the Lord, the God of your ancestors, has given to you? Select 3 men from each tribe, and I will send them out to explore the land and map it out. They will then return to me with a written report of their proposed divisions of their new homeland. Let them divide the land into 7 sections, including Judah's territory in the south and Joseph's territory in the north. And when you record the 7 divisions of the land and bring them to me, I will cast sacred lots in the presence of the Lord our God to assign land to each tribe. The Levites, however, will not receive any allotment of land. Their role as priests of the Lord is their allotment, and the tribes of Gad, Reuben, and the half-tribe Manasseh won't receive any more land, for they have already received their grant of land, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them on the east side of the Jordan River. Moses gave that to them before Moses died and before the Lord buried Moses. I love that. The Lord buried Moses and nobody knows where he is. His bones have not been recovered. Hallelujah. As the men started on their way to map out the land, Joshua commanded them, "Go and explore the land and write a description of it. Then return to me, and I will assign the land to the tribes by casting sacred lots here in the presence of the Lord at Shiloh." The men did as they were told and mapped the entire territory into 7 sections, listing the towns in each section. They made a written record and then returned to Joshua in the camp at Shiloh. And there at Shiloh, Joshua cast sacred lots in the presence of the Lord to determine which tribe should have each section. The first allotment of land went to the clans of the tribe of Benjamin. It lay between the territory assigned to the tribes of Judah and Joseph. The northern boundary of Benjamin's land began at the Jordan, went north of the slope of Jericho, then west through the hill country and the wilderness of Beth-aven. From there, the boundary went south to Luz, that is Bethel, and proceeded down to Adaroth-Adar, on the hill that lies south of lower Beth-horon. The boundary then made a turn and swung south along the western edge of the hill facing Beth-horon, ending at the village of Kiriath-Baal, that is Kiriath-Jearim, a town belonging to the tribe of Judah. This was the western boundary. The southern boundary began at the outskirts of Kiriath-Jearim. From that western point, it ran to the springs at the waters of Nephtoah, and down to the base of the mountainside beside the valley of Ben-Hanaan at the northern end of the valley of Rephaim. From there, it went down the valley of Hinnom, crossing south of the slope where the Jebusites lived and continued down into En Rogel. From En Rogel, the boundary proceeded in a northerly direction and came to En Shemesh and on to Gililoth, which is across from the slopes of Adumim. Then it went down to the stone of Bohan. Bohan was Reuben's son. From there, it passed along the north side of the slope, overlooking the Jordan Valley. The border then went down into the valley, ran past the north slope of Beth Hogla, and ended at the north bay of the Dead Sea, which is the southern end of the Jordan River. This was the southern boundary. The eastern boundary was the Jordan River. These were the boundaries of the homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Benjamin. These were the towns given to the clans of the tribe of Benjamin: Jericho, Beth Hogla, Emek, Ekiziz, Beth Arabah, Zimram, Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Kephar, Ammoni, Ophni, and Geba, 12 towns with their surrounding villages. Also Gibeon, Ramoth, Beeroth, and Mitzpah, Kephirah, Mosa, Rickham, Irpeel, Teralah, Zelah, Haleph, Jebus, that is Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kirioth, 14 towns with their surrounding villages. This was the homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Benjamin. The second allotment of land went, chapter 19. The second allotment of land went to the clans of the tribe of Simeon. Their homeland was surrounded by Judah's territory. Simeon's homeland included Beersheba, Sheba, Moladah, Hazar Shual, Bala, Ezem, El Tolad, Bethul, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Markaboth, Hazar Susa, Beth Lebaoth, Sharuhen, 13 towns with their surrounding villages. It also included Ain, Rimmon, Ether, and Asham, 4 towns with their villages, including all the surrounding villages as far south as Baalath Beer, also known as Ramah of the Negev. This was the homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Simeon. Their allocation of land came from part of what had been given to Judah, because Judah's territory was too large for them. So the tribe of Simeon received an allocation within the territory of Judah. The third allotment of land went to the clans of the tribe of Zebulun. The boundary of Zebulun's homeland started at Sarid. From there it went west, going past Maralah, touching Dabasheth, and proceeding to the brook east of Jokneam. In the other direction, the boundary went east from Sarid to the border of Kisloth, Tabor, and from there to Dabaroth and up to Japhia. Then it continued east to Gath Hefer, Eth Kazan, and Rimmon, and turned toward Neah. The northern boundary of Zebulun passed Hanathon and ended at the valley of Iftahel. The towns in these areas included Kedath, Nahalah, Shimron, Idalah, and Bethlehem, 12 towns with their surrounding villages. The homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Zebulun included these towns and their surrounding villages. The fourth allotment of land went to the clans of the tribe of Issachar. Its boundaries included the following towns: Jezreel, Kesoleth, Shunem, Hapharim, Cheyenne, Anaharath, Rabbath, Kishion, Ebez, Remeth, En-Ganem, En-Hadah, and Beth Pazez. The boundary also touched Tabor, Shahazumah, and Beth Shemesh, ending at the Jordan River, 16 towns with their surrounding villages. The homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Issachar included these towns and their surrounding villages. The fifth allotment of land went to the clans of the tribe of Asher. Its boundaries included these towns: Helkath, Mahali, Beten, Ekshaph, Alamelech, Amad, and Mishal. The boundary on the west touched Carmel and Shihor Libnath. Then it turned east toward Beth Dagon and ran as far as Zebulun in the valley of Iftahel, going north to Beth Emek and Neiel. It then continued north to Kabul, Abdon, Rehob, Haman, Cana, and as far as Greater Sidon. Then the boundary turned toward Ramah and the fortress of Tyre, where it turned toward Hosa and came to the Mediterranean Sea. The territory also included Mehebel, Akzib, Umah, Aphek, and Rehob, 22 towns with their surrounding villages. The homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Asher included these towns and their surrounding villages. The sixth allotment of land went to the clans of the tribe of Naphtali. Its boundary ran from Hela, from the oak of Zaananim, and extended across to Adaminekeb, there we go, Jabneel, and as far as Lechem, ending at the Jordan River. The western boundary ran past Aznoth Tabor, then to Hukok, and touched the border of Zebulun in the south, the border of Asher on the west, and the Jordan River on the east. The fortified towns included in this territory were Ziddim, Zur, Hamath, Rakath, Kinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, En Hazor, Yiron, Migdal El, Horem, Beth Anath, and Beth Shemesh, 19 towns with their surrounding villages. The homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Naphtali included these towns and their surrounding villages. The seventh allotment of land went to the clans of the tribe of Dan. The land allocated as their homeland included the following towns: Zorah, Eshtaol, Ir Shemesh, Shaalabin, Ajalon, Ithlah, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Baalath, Jehud, Beneberak, Gath, Rimmon, Mejarkon, Rekon, and the territory across from Joppa. But the tribe of Dan had trouble taking possession of the land, so they attacked the town of Laish. They captured it, slaughtered its people, and settled there. They renamed the town Dan after their ancestor. The homeland allocated to the clans of the tribe of Dan included these towns and their surrounding villages. After all the land was divided among the tribes, the Israelites gave a piece of the land to Joshua as his allocation. For the Lord had said he could have any town he wanted. He chose Timnath-Serah in the hill country of Ephraim. He rebuilt the town and lived there. These are the territories that Eleazar, the priest, Joshua, son of Nun, and the tribal leaders allocated as grants of land to the tribes of Israel by casting sacred lots in the presence of the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle at Shiloh. So the division of land was completed. Now think about this too, whenever sacred lots are cast. Okay, that's not just saying that I'm going to throw stones and see where they land. It's not like playing marbles. It's not like that. These are sacred lots that are cast. So it is like stones being thrown, but these are already anointed. Basically, these are spiritual stones that are being thrown and casting those lots because God already knows. And so this is their way for them to discover and to ask, what is the allocation and how is God going to divvy this up? Chapter 20. This has to do with the cities of refuge. And, we've read about the cities of refuge many times and how important they are, the cities of refuge, and how it provides a land of safety for anything that may be accidental. It also provides a time for justification because God believes that in justice being served. So it allows for proper justice to be served. The Lord said to Joshua, "Now tell the Israelites to designate the cities of refuge as I instructed Moses. Anyone who kills another person accidentally and unintentionally can run into one of these cities. They will be places of refuge from relatives seeking revenge for the person who was killed. Upon reaching one of these cities, the one who caused the death will appear before the elders at the city gate and present his case. They must allow him to enter the city and give him a place to live among them. If the relatives of the victim come to avenge the killing, the leaders must not release the slayer to them, for he killed the other person unintentionally and without previous hostility. But the slayer must stay in that city and be tried by the local assembly, which will render a judgment. And he must continue to live in that city until the death of the high priest who was in office at the time of the accident. After that, he is free to return to his home in the town from which he fled." The following cities were designated as cities of refuge: Kadesh of Galilee in the hill country of Naphtali, Shechem in the hill country, Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. On the east side of the Jordan River, across from Jericho, the following cities were designated: Bezer in the wilderness plain of the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth and Gilead in the territory of the tribe of Gad, and Golan and Bashan in the land of the tribe of Manasseh. These cities were set apart for all the Israelites as well as the foreigners living among them. Anyone who accidentally killed another person could take refuge in one of these cities. In this way, they could escape being killed in revenge prior to standing trial before the local assembly. And that is why cities of refuge were so important. Chapter 21. Then the leaders of the tribe of Levi came to consult with Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders of the other tribes of Israel. They came to them at Shiloh in the land of Canaan and said, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us towns to live in and pasture lands for our livestock." So by the command of the Lord, the people of Israel gave the Levites the following towns and pasture lands of their own grants, out of their own grants of land: The descendants of Aaron, who were members of the Kohathite clan within the tribe of Levi, were allotted 13 towns that were originally assigned to the tribes of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin. The other families of the Kohathite clan were allotted 10 towns from the tribes of Ephraim, Dan, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. The clan of Gershon was allotted 13 towns from the tribes of Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and the half-tribe Manasseh and Bashan. The clan of Merari was allotted 12 towns from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. So the Israelites obeyed the Lord's command to Moses and assigned these towns and pasture lands to the Levites by casting sacred lots. Once again, we see sacred lots are cast. The Israelites gave the following towns from the tribes of Judah and Simeon to the descendants of Aaron, who were members of the Kohathite clan within the tribe of Levi, since the sacred lot fell to them first. Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, along with its surrounding pasture lands. Arba was an ancestor of Anak, but the open fields beyond the town and the surrounding villages were given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, as his possession. The following towns with their pasture lands were given to the descendants of Aaron the priest. Hebron, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone. Libnah, Jatir, Eshtemoa, Holon, Debir, Ain, Judah with Ttah, not Dah, and Beth-Shemesh, 9 towns from these 2 tribes. From the tribe of Benjamin, the priests were given the following towns and with their pasture lands: Gibeon, Geba, Anathoth, and Almon, 4 towns. So in all, 13 towns with their pasture lands were given to the priests, the descendants of Aaron. The rest of the Kohathite clan from the tribe of Levi was allotted the following towns and the pasture lands from the tribe of Ephraim: Shechem in the valley of Ephraim, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone; Gezer, Kibzaim, and Beth-horon, 4 towns. The following towns and pasture lands were allotted to the priests from the tribe of Dan: Eltekah, Gibbethon, Ajalon, and Gath-Rimmon, 4 towns. The half-tribe of Manasseh allotted the following towns with their pasture lands to the priests: Tanakh and Gath-Rimmon, 2 towns. So in all, 10 towns with their pasture lands were given to the rest of the Kohathite clan. The descendants of Gershon, another clan within the tribe of Levi, received the following towns with their pasture lands from the half-tribe of Manasseh: Golan and Bashan, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone, and Be'esh Terah, 2 towns. From the tribe of Issachar, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Kishion, Debaroth, Jarmuth, and Enganam, 4 towns. From the tribe of Asher, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Mishal, Abdon, Helkath, and Rehob, 4 towns. From the tribe of Naphtali, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Kadesh in Galilee, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone; Hamath Dor and Kartan, 13 towns. So in all, 13 towns with their pasture lands were allotted to the clan of Gershon. The rest of the Levites, the Merari clan, were given the following towns with their pasture lands from the tribe of Zebulun: Jokneam, Kartah, Dimnah, and Nahalal, 4 towns. From the tribe of Reuben, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Bezer Jahaz, Kedemoth, and Mephhath, 4 towns. From the tribe of Gad, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Ramoth and Gilead, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone; Mahanaim, Heshbon, and Jazer, 4 towns. So in all, 12 towns were allotted to the clan of the Merari. The total number of towns and pasture lands within Israelite territory given to the Levites came to 48, every one of these towns and pasture lands surrounding it. So the Lord gave to Israel all the land he had sworn to give their ancestors, and they took possession of it and settled there. And the Lord gave them rest on every side, just as he had solemnly promised their ancestors. None of their enemies could stand against them, for the Lord helped them conquer all their enemies. Not a single one of all the good promises the Lord had given to the family of Israel was left unfulfilled. Everything he had spoken came true. Just as I said, this was all about promises. Basically, all of Joshua is. And it's about the promised land that they were going into. So it's all about the fulfillment of these promises of what the Lord promised the children of Israel whenever he led them out from under the hands of Pharaoh, out from the land of slavery that they were in, and into freedom. It took them a long time because of their disobedience. It took them a long time to get there. But now their children, their offspring, are enjoying the promises that God gave. Your children and your offspring can also enjoy the promises that God gives you. Rest in him. Okay, this can carry on for generations whenever you follow what God has asked you to do. Rest in God. Have trust in Him. Continue reading the Bible. Continue staying in the Word. Continue in your walk with God. Continue letting the Bible adjust your direction every single day. I'll see you again tomorrow and we will finish out Joshua. Bye-bye.